In the bottom right here, going for a 15 gas cancel. Into the red for Basilisk Gaming. It's Serral. And in the upper left, in the blue, looking fantastic at the Masters Colosseum thus far. Give it up. It's MaxPax. And this matchup right now, in many ways, is not exactly a matchup for Serral. Hasn't dropped a series. MaxPax did drop that one to Showtime. So MaxPax, by winning this, he would put himself up at 3-1. He would put Serral at 3-1. And then things get complicated. Then you look at map differential. You look at who they have to play for the rest of the group. But it does give MaxPax a fighting chance. And certainly, dueling 3-1s here, it does separate MaxPax from the pack quite a bit as he looks to go and get out second place maybe in this absolutely stacked Group A. I mean, it's Serral, it's Maru, it's Gumiho, it's Showtime, it's MaxPax. That's a crazy group. Yeah, and I mentioned Maru too. So it is an absolutely insane group that we have here, looking at how things are going to go. And remember, this is a matchup that historically Serral has done very well. MaxPax, excuse me, has done very well in. Think back to the most recent King of Battles where MaxPax picked Serral and Raynor into his group and knocked them both out, or at least knocked them both down. I want to say they both got knocked out as well as, the probe's gonna get got. Serral should not be allowed to make that happen. MaxPax maybe just caught a little bit lacking there, but we'll lose the probe early, and it's not really what you want. But anyway, historically, no one beats Serral. Serral has a 91% win rate in ZVP since the start of this year, but if there is a player that will beat him on occasion, at least in Europe, it is going to be MaxPax. So I'm excited to see what MaxPax has in store here. We did see Serral's ZVP form earlier on when he played Showtime. And Showtime, by the way, played an incredible. Showtime played a very good ZVP. And I think against any Zerg that's not Serral, Showtime probably wins that series. Serral went for Swarm Hosts. He went for an aggressive play. He Swarm Host Roach timings every 45 seconds. You dive in with Locusts and Roaches in it, or 40 seconds, and it's fantastic. And he played that game at Showtime. He defended it incredibly well. He got to 180 supply. He approached max out, but Serral's economy behind, which is really strong, and Showtime couldn't quite close it out. Very good game. Really impeccably played, but Serral is Serral at the end of the day, and there is only so much you can do against, I think what many people would say, the best player in the world. He's got a 90, again, since January, he's got a 95% win rate against Terrans. He's got a 91% win rate against Protoss, and yeah, you know, against top Terrans and top Protoss, so top 8 in the other two races. And yeah, his ZVZ is kind of what's holding him back right now, but even still, I mean, I think we gotta say Serral's the best player in the world, even if it was Raynor that won Gamers Day. I mean, again, ZVZ will continue to be the Finnish Phenoms. It's against Bane for a little bit longer. We're going to see whether he actually solves this. But for now, well, Stalker is going to shove this Overlord out, gets back in time. And by the way, is that not Overlord? It looked like Overlord speed, but even still, Oracle means the Overlord will go down. The Perv not peeking on the pillar anymore. And MaxPax, of course, behind this. He's got his third base on the way rather quickly. This is Gressvon. You can be greedy. Double Oracle getting started. And the question we ask ourselves now, is this Oracle first one? It shouldn't get much done. All right, Queens are out. They're actually, I don't think there are any. Yeah, no spores are ready yet. So that Oracle could dive into the main, maybe the natural here. And yeah, MaxPax has an opportunity. Only one Queen here for the moment. Dives on top, gets one drone, gets a second, 6 on for a third. And really only half hull damage, less than half hull damage there. Nice move from MaxPax early on as he gets his second Oracle out. Third one on the way. And again, it's when 2 Oracles pop out that you really start to find that value. They one-shot drones. They can dive in. Queens, well, they split their damage sometimes. It really is a value that the Protoss player can find. But in this game, for now, MaxPax will not find that one. He's got Forge on the way. He's got Templar Archives or a Twilight Council on the way. And no Robos, so there are 2 ways we can go about this. One of these is +1 blink. Right, you get that on the map, 6-7 minutes. You get a bunch of gateways. It's that heavy pressure, what we've come to call the hero style. And the other one is as soon as the Twilight's down, you drop a Templar Archives as well. You get ready for Archons. You get charged. You hit this +1 charge lot Archon timing that also can be rather nice, as now Adepts are going to try to find their way into the third. Target fire is not incredible. In fact, it seems like the Queens, for the most part, they're going to get the damage. So, Queens, well, they do what they have to do. And these Oracles, again, from MaxPax, are not finding what they want. So, Serral is very happy with this game. He's lost 5 drones. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not horrible. Certainly, as we talk about drips and drabs here as well. But now Oracles are going to dive in, bring 3 of them together, in fact. And MaxPax circumnavigates just a little bit, dives into the natural. This is a little bit more damage, but it's only 2. So even when it feels like MaxPax dodges out of the way of Serral, it actually it doesn't get that much done. His Lings on the other side are going to try to equalize indeed. We're going to see a Stalker fall, and no probes fall, but a Stalker is very nice in this early game. And by the way, we talked about Charge, Templar Archives. Well, we got half that. Charge is on the way, just about done. There's the Templar Archives, Robo on the way. So MaxPax, he doesn't want to go into Blink Stalkers just yet. He doesn't want to have those units that are actually really good, again, against the Banes. Because in part, I think that he has the read here that Serral is very much on melee units. Well, I mean, Banelings are melee units, but very much on a heavy Ling composition for the time being. There is no Baneling Nest. Nothing to deal with these Zealots that are going to start to get warped in here. Warp Prism halfway done, getting chronoed out. Charge 3/4 done here in the Temple Archives. Gonna finish up right around that same time. So we're gonna have a couple Archons, we're gonna have Charge, and this timing coming out of MaxPax is intensely powerful, as long as Serral doesn't catch wind of it. But he's gonna see the Templar, and that's a big deal. Now we're gonna see Baneling Nest go down. Now we're gonna see the Roaches on the way. And by the way, Infestation Pit getting started here. Seems like Serral, once again, like we saw against Showtime, he just likes Swarm Hosts in this composition, in this matchup. For whatever reason, it seems like that's how he feels like this matchup is best played. So yes, we have Roaches on the way, Baneling Nest on the way, +2 melee on the way here. But it seems like, at least for the time being, that this will be that Swarm Host play after all. Of course, as we talk about this is Ling's Sharkin. They're not going to get much done. As we talk about this could just be for quick hive. Getting into Ultras would be a little bit weird. Sometimes we see players go for that, but in general, just getting, say, Funkles and maybe just locking things down so Banelings can crash in, making sure Blink is not as powerful, whatever it is. But the Infestation Pit is done, along with Roach Speed and +1 melee halfway done. Baneling Speed on the way, getting that additional HP, getting that additional damage, or speed really, which is damage here. But I talked about MaxPax's timing, and these couple run-bys from Serral really prevented that from happening. So now Serral's going to run down the ramp. MaxPax wants to kite backwards to the stasis trap. Won't get there yet. And it's a whole lot of nothing, really, coming out of MaxPax, coming out of Serral at the moment here. But it seems like Serral's got the read on what MaxPax wants to do. MaxPax is on double robos. The stasis trap goes down. Ling's trying to get on top of it. They're going to kill it. Yeah, actually, it does trigger, but really, Stilo Mismo, it's the same. As now this stasis trap not going to work in MaxPax's favor at all. Zealots really zoned out heavily. Archon on the way, but Serral seems to have the read that MaxPax is in fact going for this double robo style. 2 Colossus on the way at a time, as Blink as well. And by the time these Colossus are out, but by the time that extended thermal lance is ready, the hive is going to be done. We're going to have a Viper or 2 or 3 on the map here. He's going to have all the abducts he wants, and this powerful timing that MaxPax wants to hit off of really how greedy he's been on the gas count in the early game, well, it's not going to be nearly as effective. So MaxPax, he's going to posture on the map right now. He's got a Colossus here, and his army supply is not all that bad. It's only down 8, and well, more stasis traps. Colossus just get on top of the Lings, making sure that they will kill these off. Yeah, these Banelings, yeah. No. Those Banelings are not going to work out, but this pressure from MaxPax, this is the optimal timing right now. He's got 2 Colossus. He's got +1. Extended Thermal Lance is going to be done in a second here, but these Archons and the Stalkers and the Immortal are doing a fairly good job of tanking. His Zealots find the third base as well here. Serral is on the ropes. This is a powerful timing for MaxPax. The Banelings, they run in, but the Archon tanks them all. And this is, again, well, it's going to be nice for MaxPax at the moment. More Zealots warp in, and there are no Banelings. But MaxPax has to be careful because guess what? The Vipers are done right now. That's vision, that's detection. MaxPax knows about the timing. He knows the Vipers are on the field. He knows he's gonna have to push in right now or face the consequences. So this 4th base, this 5th base of Serral, it's under threat now. Zealots on the left side, they're getting something. But if Serral keeps this 5th base alive against this pressure from MaxPax, that is really not gonna feel all that good. So for now, Seems like MaxPax is going to be forced back a little bit here. Stasis traps are nice, and they're preventing the damage, really, from this army. But these Colossus are slow behind. But the Archons, well, excuse me, the Vipers, they're not going to die for it. They're not really going to... I thought there was a world where a couple Colossus were just going to get abducted for free, but that's not the case. And now we stabilize once again. MaxPax adding in Storm now on that Templar Archives, multiple Immortals, getting that fourth base, or excuse me, that fifth base up, and really trying to get into the late game a little bit more. And this is kind of a cool game, because we have MaxPax here, and he's gone for a couple timings, and he's gotten small amounts of damage, not a ton. But more than anything, this has been a game of bluffs and double bluffs, of MaxPax having a timing, Cyril being ready for it, so MaxPax not committing, MaxPax having another timing, Cyril being ready for it, so MaxPax doesn't commit. And this time, well, Roaches are going to get traded out, but Aspire's on the way. Cyril's okay with trading out supply at this point. He wants a greater Spire. He wants maybe Broodlords or something else to really deal with this late game Protoss composition. And by the way, this composition that MaxPax is building with Colossus and High Templar and maybe some Disruptors eventually, and 5 Colossus feels like a little bit overkill, but these tech units. There comes a point when at least the Zerg players feel like their ground armies do not fight this. And there's just too much damage. So you have to get into Sky or you have to get into Sky Zerg in some way. You have to move to that late game. And that's in part why we're seeing Broodlords get changed to be more interactive, but not do quite as much damage. At least that's the argument. But for now, bunch of Roaches on the left side here. These 5 Colossus are going to try to do so much damage, but MaxPax, of course, he's got the run by. He's got the warp into the main base. Roaches on the left side, well, they're going to get warped into, so that's going to be fine. Now, Blinding Clouds are nice, and oh, the Storms are going to be massive here as well. Archons will fall for the most part, but the Colossus, they are here. They are large and in charge, even as they eat the biles. But this army, the tech of this army is by far the most powerful idea about it. That base from Cyril will go down. The question now is whether MaxPax, he gets another. But for now, distracted by the run by on the left side. More Zealots warp in, but it's a bunch of Roaches. It's not going to kill things all that quickly. So this is going to have to be a recall. And, well, these 5 Colossus, they're going to get the Roaches. They will all fall down, or at least the good majority of them. And at the end of the day, excellent trade there coming in from MaxPax. Yeah, you know, he lost some Zealots, but he got so many of the Roaches. He kills a base. He gets, well, army on the right side as well. But it seems like he will have to sacrifice this base. This army that MaxPax has is just not mobile. Not at all. Colossus are slow. They dawdle across the map. So I talked about how it was a good trade for MaxPax. He keeps his base alive. He gets a lot of Roaches. He kills the base of Serral. But losing a base of his own, going back to 4 bases, doesn't feel all that great for the Protoss. Not as you're trying to transition into the late game. And by the way, MaxPax has no plans of going Skytoss. There's no additional Stargates here. This is all in on these 5 Colossus, on these High Templar, on everything else that MaxPax has on the ground. And as Broodlords are starting to get morphed, I mean, this army, this ground army, incredible against everything that the Zerg has on the ground. But in the air, it's a totally different story. So this base goes down once again, and well, now the Broodlords are going to show their faces. Storm gets dropped here, but MaxPax has to give the position up. Maybe get a base on the way out, but you just have to run away, and that's when the abducts happen. That's when Immortals start to follow. But realistically, MaxPax, those High Templar are useful, and you want to use them. He'll just left them behind. But what's MaxPax's response here to this pressure, to this, really the tech transition that we're seeing out of Serral? It's not additional Stargates. It's not that. No. Another Warp Prism. Shields on the way. More Archons. Try to punch through this before we hit full late game composition here. Go split push. Hit 3 Colossus on the left side. A couple more on the right side. Just really try to out multitask Cyril. Try to really punish this death balls. The stasis trap will not land, so the Banelings will find their way right on top. 1 Colossus gets saved, but we need to see more active micro here from MaxPax. Do more than just keep it in the Warp Prism, and it's going to be fantastic. For now, there's an abduct. No save. Yeah, no, just a little bit longer. And, well, it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Broodlords on the left side. No Stalkers to blink on top. So MaxPax, he's killing the Broodlings, but it just drips and drabs the damage, though. MaxPax on the left side. This feels a little bit more promising. Roaches and Ravagers, they're going to find their way in from the Stasis Trap. Another one pops, but it's just Lings. And now the Broodlords on the right side here. The Colossus, they're dead. This army of MaxPax, it's starting to drip out. It's starting to run away. Another Archon will fall to the Broods. And we need... Immortals are not the answer here. Immortals are not what MaxPax needs. He needs, realistically, he needs this. He needs Stargates on the way. He needs the fleet beacon. He needs to move into not even carriers. Get up to 5 Tempest. Start to one-shot the Broodlords. Maybe that is going to be enough to do it. But I mean, even still, life is hard for MaxPax right now. He's got this army that is expensive. As the Baneling's now going to run in. And Baneling nerf wouldn't help here, by the way. 22 probes go down. MaxPax wasn't ready for this. He's had his entire army trying to posture on the middle of the map, trying to punish Cyril. But Cyril's locked down tighter than my house in winter. And let me tell you, my house is knocked down very tightly because it's very cold. There are no cracks in the army. There are no cracks in the defense for Cyril. Not really. And now 31 probes go down. Stalkers get warped in here because MaxPax has to warp in something. But now it's the last march of the Sky Toss here. Fungals will land. That's a great fungal. And a second one here as well. So now the Broodlords really starting to go to town. More Eye Templar are going to start to fall. 39 probes hit the deck. And yeah, the Zealots on the right side, they're going to kill 4 drones. Who cares? It's 4 drones. That doesn't matter. But 39 probes, that does here. MaxPax, yeah, he's on 5 bases, but at this point, he's dead. Serral holds on, gets himself to the tech he wants to get himself to. And quite realistically, MaxPax never looked like he had a shot in that game. At all. His timing's never worked out. Serral was impeccable on the defense. And that means that Serral, he takes game number 1. And now we find our way into game number 2 here. It's a much shorter map this time. So in the upper right, in the red, he's for Basilisk. He's up 1. It's Serral. And the bottom right in the blue, down a map here, jockeying for second. It's MaxPax. And of course, as we get in here into this game number 2 of this series, if you want more games of Serral and MaxPax and Maru and beyond and all these fantastic players, you should make sure to subscribe to this channel because, well, a cast of this caliber hopefully goes up pretty much every single day of the week. And that means that if you like good StarCraft, you should make sure to subscribe, like the video, and let me know what MaxPax should have done differently in that game number 1. Is it a crisper timing? Is it a faster transition? How does MaxPax win that game? Because, well, for my marbles, Serral just looked impenetrable and he had the perfect read. It's funny because, again, I keep bringing this up because it's really interesting information. Serral this year has a 91% ZVP win rate against the top 8 Protoss players in the world per League Galactic. The next closest player is Raynor, who has a 61%. That is a 30% win rate difference. And it really is because Serral, he just knows. Part of it is scouting, of course, but Serral just knows how the game works. And he knows how to respond. So that means that whatever you want to do, if you're relying on a crisp timing or something interesting, something 5 Colossus timing, Cyril's going to scout it out. He's going to know what's happening. He's going to drop that infestation pit 3 minutes before he needs it so he can get his hive up. And then, well, your 5 Colossus timing isn't all that great because there are abducts possible. And then, well, he's going to get Broodlords because he has the hive. And it's like, well, he's always 1 step ahead of you, even if you think you're 1 step ahead of yourself. It's crazy how well he understands this game. We have another game. It's another chance now for MaxPax to show that form that actually can take down Serral. Because, again, pretty much of any Protoss player in the West, MaxPax is kind of the only one that I give credence to the idea that he can take Serral down. Obviously, it's not likely. 91% win rate, Serral after all. But I give him a bit more of a chance than I give Showtime or I give Creator, although Creator should have beaten Serral at Gamers 8, and Classic did beat Serral at Gamers 8. And actually, that's one of the cool things I want to bring up here as well as we get into this game too, is that game 1 saw MaxPax channeling the build, channeling the idea, because at a certain point it wasn't really a build, but channeling the idea of how how Classic played against Cyril, where it was that mid-game, that ground-pounding Protoss army of Colossus and Archons and Charizlots and Storm eventually. But the difference was Classic was aggressive. He was constantly trading with that army, not allowing Cyril to be really comfortable. And I mean, Vipers are kind of inevitable as the Zerg for the most part. If the Protoss is going to go up to that number of that number of Colossus, it's expensive enough that the Zerg has time. But never letting him go to Broodlords, never really allowing Cyril to properly get to that anti-ground Protoss army that Cyril eventually got to in that game versus MaxPax, and then Classic shoved his face in. He broke Serral down, and that's how he won one of the games in that series. So MaxPax took the idea. He said, yeah, that's how Classic beats Serral. This is how you beat Serral. But again, he wasn't aggressive enough, and that just kind of got punished. And well, a little bit awkward for now, though. MaxPax doing something a little bit different. He's got the Oracle out, right? He's going to show up in the main, but with Queens and a Spore on the way, he's not going to get much done. But the interesting thing here is that there's a Void Ray getting made. Not second and third Oracle, it's a Void Ray. It's going to get this Overlord, sure. And it might be able to get Overlords on the map. We got this one right here, one on the right side, MaxPax, and one in the middle as well. MaxPax should roughly be aware of this. So if he's quick onto the other side of the map, and Cyril is slow pulling these Overlords back, which it seems like he's going to be, there's a bounty supply just on the map here, waiting for MaxPax to take it. But Cyril now, he's pulling those Overlords back, and MaxPax, by not beelining his Void Ray onto the other side of the map, trying to be fast on the Nexus, or fast enough on the Nexus. He's going to miss out on his shot, but look at this. Second Stargate on the way. Phoenix are going to get added in. And this is a very different style coming out of MaxPax here. Adding Phoenix and double Stargate Phoenix is not something we see all that often. Because, by the way, we did see the Oracle go down to minimal gain, which is unfortunate. It's really not what you want, but in this game, MaxPax, I mean, he's going to have all the harassment he could possibly want. Double Phoenix at a time is just, that's a lot. And by the way, adding the Void Ray on top of this really allows MaxPax to just sit on these Phoenix for quite a while. Just let them go up and up and up and up and up in number, and it'll not reveal until you got 10 Phoenix or something. Give Cyril the absolute last second scout on things, and that's really nice. That is, when you're playing this Mass Phoenix style, you do not want your Zerg opponent to know what's happening until, again, that very last second. So we're on 5 Phoenix right now. The Void Ray on the map here as well. Where is it? In the middle of the map? Okay. MaxPax was supply blocked. He didn't have it quite. I guess his Nexus was a little bit slow, but he's back to his business now. More Phoenix on the way here. And again, we ask ourselves the question, at what point does MaxPax move out? He's got 5 Phoenix right now. He's going to have 7 very quickly. And ooh, behind this, adding a Robo, adding a Forge, and +1 air. So it seems like he's almost going Phoenix Colossus or something. Phoenix Disruptor maybe. As now the Phoenix are going to find roaches on this side of the map. MaxPax finally revealing 6 minutes, and Cyril had no idea. Maybe an inkling of an idea because he saw not a lot. There were not a lot of gas units on the map. It was like just zealots, but he really didn't know. And his response, immediate response, 3 more queens at a time here. Night is getting started. Cyril's got a lot of queens on the map. He's got 11 queens. So maybe he had more of an inkling than I gave him credit for. So Phoenix, now they dive in. They get a couple drones, but not enough here. And a Phoenix will go down. Again, not what MaxPax wants here. He got some Overlords. Again, nice. Getting some Roaches, fantastic. You got to wipe a mineral line out if you're going to really commit to this as much as MaxPax has. And now, well, the Nidus is ready. And MaxPax, did you see it? No. He didn't see the Nidus. He wasn't aware of what was happening. He's going to get a queen on the map. That's nice. That's fantastic. Well, no, he's not actually. He's going to force transfuses, but Nidus is done. Queens now are going to start to pop out here. We're going to see the creep. Well, excuse me, queen, I guess, is going to pop out here, but the creep spread now gets started. Static defense getting ready, but it's slow in coming. Really only 3 cannons at the moment here. Immortals getting chronoed out, 2 of them at a time. But Immortals against Ravagers and Queens and Lings are not incredible. You want them against the Roaches, but again, that's not what this army is. So the miles go down, static defense to the 3rd. It's just not viable. And these Phoenix, well, they can't do anything. They were not able to prevent they weren't able to prevent this Nidus from going down. And they didn't get enough damage done on the other side. So Cyril's just running right in. The creep spread's fantastic. He's got more Roaches there in the Nidus that are now going to spill on forward here. And these Nidus, as powerful as they are to, drop queens out, to put Roaches on top of the army, they also give so much creep. And that means these queens can transfuse, that these lifts are just not effective. And MaxPax is dead. You want to know how to beat this army, what MaxPax is doing? Cyril just showed you exactly how to beat 2 Stargate Phoenix, and he did it perfectly. Serral now takes the 2-0, cements himself in first place, and MaxPax back down to the slums with him, fighting for second.